flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish now.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
180. Check 56. Ricky. Check three. Watch twitch. King.
Now a first carry from Melvin Gordon. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Good. 180. Up.
Now they run from the gun with Gordon. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Landry there, but now it's third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Well, very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. To throw is Stidham. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Olivier Vernon able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now it's Stidham. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
First down, Bengals.
Set, ready? 70, Indy. 53, Mike 53.
They'll throw on first down with Stidham. It's caught. Smith. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now Stidham on first down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
56. Hey, we're pretty quiet. Hey, alert 33. Check 52.
Mayfield down. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Check. Crunch.
3rd and long for Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bengals drive about to get going. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. C.J. Uzomah. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI call at just about any point during his route, and I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
Mayfield on first down. He's going to let it go again. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. On 2nd and 10, Mayfield. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run it here with Gordon, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rink it and lock it free. They need to get some
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. He was looking for Landry that time. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Ready?
2nd and 10 now. Stidham. Open man is Higgins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
23 yards, the final tally.
Go. 90, Wolf. Hey. Stop here, D. Check. Hey, Foxtrot. Deep.
On 1st down, Stidham. And he's got it. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Carl Lawson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Throwing, Mayfield. And oh, what a catch that time by Landry. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And the drive starts with a completion, left side. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. They're going to have to do something with him. He was so sensational last week, over 200 yards. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, what do? You hold him?
That's a good start as long as you can get away with it. Otherwise, just giving up penalties and free plays for the offense. But
this time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. This time, Stidham will throw. Carrying it out deep for Smith. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off right around the 43. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Out of the gun, Stidham. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. From the gun, a run for Johnson. There he goes inside the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Kerryon Johnson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Mike, 56, right there, 56. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A second down throw for Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Evans, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield from the gun on third down. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now throwing on first down and completing it. A gain of 6 there on first. Now it's Stidham. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coach is always talking about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Come on, fellas. At their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Gordon. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the mark.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Credit the sack to the safety, Jesse Bates. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. This is Gordon. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels...
And now here is another interception. William Jackson with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It can be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
And this one complete to Smith. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Stidham. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On 3rd down, Stidham. He's got his man, Boyd. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
1st down, Bengals.
Break. Check. 59. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense.
Hey, Delta, snap.
Stidham sets to throw on 1st. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Intended for his wideout. Incomplete. He was covered by Denzel Ward.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Marr able to put this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. The Bengals drive about to get going. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about half.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joe Schobert gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. 3rd and long. It's Stidham. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch twist. Regular.
A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
56 to Mike. 56 to Mike. Let's go, tight end.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. Oh, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Yeah, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Ready? 18 Gator. Hey, Haywood. You remember me?
On 1st and 10, it's Stidham. He's got Smith here. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Let's go.
He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. Give him 3 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down.
Hey, Charlie. 5.
Stidham will throw again. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns' drive about to get started. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Evans coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
56, Mike, 56. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Third and long for Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Geno Atkins, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Around the NFL, third quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll throw on 1st down with Stidham. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Stidham again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Gordon. And he will try, but he can't. He can't escape the end zone. Gordon is taken down, and it's a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point.
We got this.
The Bengals drive about to get going. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Stidham. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Now, after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
A very solid gain of 27. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. It's caught, Beckham. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Here's Mayfield. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They'll get this out wide to Boyd. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Now, Bengals on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Stidham. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And my goodness, another interception. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, We've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Down. 10 Lobo. Line's 59. Hey, come on, oh, come on, oh. Get it.
Now Stidham on first down. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
A Bengal first down on a 16-yard pickup there. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now it's Stidham. This pass complete to Higgins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns' drive about to get started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Check 20. Pistol.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Casey Hayward. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Stidham. It's caught. Smith. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On the ready.
53 is the mic. Rip right, rip right.
Ready.
Stidham now to throw on 3rd down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. The kick by Maher is good. Now they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the made field goal, Maher back out there to kick it away.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to